Hey, Gemini, how's y'all doing? This is Patrick. My name is Patrick. This is the Ira Fish. Welcome to your 2020 retrograde story. I'm a little tired, Gemini, but we're gonna do this. This is interesting, Gemini, because y'all got the Two of Swords that came out at the bottom of two of these decks before I'm starting for y'all. The Two of Swords came out twice, and then I was shuffling this deck. I was shuffling the Pride Tarot, and a bunch of cards, quite a few cards, slid out. One of them jumped tables because I got two of them. You can see this one and this one, right? Jump tables. It was the only card in reverse. It was the Eight of Cups in reverse, and the card that was at the top of the pile or the top of the stack that showed his face was the Two of Swords. So I don't know if y'all suffer from that mutable sign, indecisiveness, but it may be time to cut that out. I mean, y'all are the lovers, right? Which is basically decisions. I mean, it can be actual lovers, but it can also be decisions. And so it may be time to decide. You also got the Page of Swords that came out and the Five of Cups. So maybe you're kind of sort of, oh look, there's that Eight of Cups right there. Maybe you're trying to decide if you want to walk away from something or progress towards something. And then there is, look, the Dark Horse with that Eight of Cups. Both 7 and 8. So I'm going to be using the Spirit Keeper's Tarot for the Pluto retrograde, the Water Nun Tarot for Jupiter, Kawaii Tarot for Saturn, and the Pride Tarot for Venus. I'm going to be looking for the lovers as the significator card and basically rebalancing, reshifting the deck to put that in the middle. And then I'm going to pull the top and the bottom, and that'll be your story, or that part of the story. So they've been fairly cohesive so far. So let's just get into it. Bottom of the deck, Two of Pentacles. Followed by this Archangel of Healing and the Captor. So yeah, definitely balancing something. But it's almost like, you know, once you come into your own, you may realize that something is going to make your choice or your decision a whole lot easier. That may be because it will reveal itself as, I don't want to say unworthy, but maybe something that you held on to because of the space that you used to be in, but you are no longer in that space, and so it's like you can do better now. Oh, I don't want to. I don't want to ruffle no feathers, but for some reason in my mind it just popped in like, or someone can do better than you. I'm like, oh wow. Did you get left, Gemini? And now you can't move on? Okay, I don't know. I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 31. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oof! And that's Gemini energy. So yeah, man, either y'all cut somebody out or y'all got cut out. Energy is fluid. Feel free to switch roles, genders, whatever. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Nice. So this will be the bottom. This will be the top. Top of the deck. The Eight of Cups. Bottom of the deck. That Ten of Swords. Gemini, 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 Gemini. That's Pisces and Gemini energy. Left is the Strength card. So if you did cut somebody out, Gemini, or if you did cut something out, Gemini, or if something has transformed in your life, Gemini, I'll go Venus next. It may be for the best. And then look, there's the Seven of Swords. That's Aquarian energy, but with the Page of Swords, it becomes the Eight of Swords, which is Gemini energy. Should I stay or should I go? But you already know that you should go. I feel like you may be trying to stay in a space that you definitely 100% for sure know that's not for you anymore. But it may have held some comfort for you in the past. This could be a space, this could be a pattern of habits. It could be anything. Because, you know, what is a space? Space could be both physical and mental and emotional and or, right? You may get some very important communication. Potentially, starting with the Four of Cups, that Two of Swords, and this World card. So yeah, I feel like if this is related to something in the past, it definitely does not give you any satisfaction anymore, or you realize that it doesn't grow you. And it's time for you to walk away from this, but I feel like it may be difficult. I don't know if it's tied to family. I don't know why family came to mind. I don't know if it's tied, like, I don't know what it's tied to. But I feel like it's like there's some hold on you that this thing has that I don't want to say it shouldn't, but I feel like you're well beyond the space that you may try to keep yourself stuck in. Oh, I'm starting to feel a little warm in the chest area. What does that mean? I don't know. I've never felt that before. Now my whole body is starting to heat up. Gemini, what's going on with y'all? Someone that you lost that you don't want to let go of. I feel like sometimes it's difficult for us to walk away from some things, even when we know it's not good for us, because we don't know what we're going to be walking into. And Gemini can be like, Gemini is a very, very social energy, and so you may not handle alone well. But you know, there come times when it's better, yeah, with that Three of Swords and then the Empress right here, 2 3s. It's like it's better to be off creating on your own than it is to be in a situation that no longer serves you. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 30 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Excuse me. Yeah, I feel like there's this like warmth or this heat that starts around the heart area, but it's radiating outwards, and I'm starting to feel it come like to my arms. And I don't know, I've never felt something like that, so I don't know what to attribute it to. Could be dealing with a Cancer, I guess, or a Leo, maybe. Yeah, it's just like I feel like I'm like heating up from the inside. Or maybe you have a lot of feelings around a certain situation that you didn't express. And maybe that's why it's really difficult for you to walk away from this. I don't know. I guess we'll see. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 16 17 18 19 20 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 30 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Yeah, this is really interesting because I feel it, and it's like it's not pulsating, but so I'm gonna be keeping the Spirit Keeper's Tarot. I'm gonna be using for the Pluto retrograde. That's gonna be the only major. That's gonna be the only Lovers card that stays on the table because I love using the SKT to anchor in an energy. This is the Pride Tarot. I'm gonna be using this for the Venus retrograde, the Wild Unknown Tarot, Jupiter retrograde, and the Quiet Tarot Saturn retrograde. I think I've already said that, but 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This comes in the middle. Oops. See how I do this? This goes in the middle, this goes on top. And that's how I do it, Gemini. Top of the deck. is the Page of Cups, where it was the Page of Swords before. Bottom of the deck is this Hangman. Lots of watery energy. I guess you could also be dealing with a Pisces. With the Five of Cups, Scorpio energy here. So, and then the Five of Cups is already at the bottom of this Saturn retrograde. One second, Gemini. I am so sorry. I'll leave a timestamp in the description when this video actually begins. I gotta get my brother really quick because my mother doesn't want to get up. All right, Gemini. I'm not gonna trip. You know how they say everything is kind of sort of relative? So, my mom texted me to ask my brother if he would go walk the dog. And so I go in my brother's room and I'm like, hey, they want to know if you're gonna walk the dog. And he's like, I know, they already texted me. So I'm like, so they sent me to deliver a message that was already sent. And you go from the Page of Swords to the Page of Cups. But now that we're in the Page of Cups, here's an Hangman. So, maybe you have difficulty expressing your feelings. Gemini. Oops. Or something. We'll keep going and see what this is about. We'll see what this is about. And I still have this feeling, which is so interesting. I don't know what this is. Maybe you're looking for closure in a situation, or maybe you want to say your piece before you walk away from it. I don't know. Gemini, I'm getting confused. I'm over here getting confused now. I'm a Pisces. So I can be like indecisive and I can go back and forth in my mind, but this is a whole new level of confusion for me because I'm just like, what? Starting out with the Three of Pentacles, the Five of Cups, and this Page of Cups. So this could have been something that you were working on in the past or someone that you were working with in the past. And the Three of Pentacles is more of a business relationship than anything. It can be platonic or romantic or whatever, but there's something that you two work on together. Like there's some kind of physical end product. But here there's this Five of Cups and this Page of Cups. This is almost an energy of like, you could have a band or a friend group and everyone else in your friend group partners up, and whenever like your friends get partners, they kind of sort of like forget about the friend group, and so now it's like you're kind of sort of left alone, because I'm seeing like these three cups here, right? And then these two cups sort of capping these two. So it's like these two partnered up, and then you're kind of sort of left alone. And with this Page of Cups, it may be time for you to go and find someone to partner up with. Potentially. I mean, the Ten of Cups is coming out after that Page of Cups with this Lover's card, which is your energy. So you're right at the bottom of this deck, and you were pretty darn close to the top of the other one. And the Hermit card right there. So, yeah, maybe you're not expressing your feelings. And maybe there's a sort of sense, maybe there's some like kind of shame that you have around yourself. Maybe there's like a feeling of shame, a feeling that you won't be accepted. And it's almost like there's a space of acceptance that is calling you, but you're not yet taking it up because you don't know how you'll really be received, or if you'll be received fully. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, this is going to be a long one, y'all. 4, 5, 6. Ooh, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. Looks like the Two of Wands is going to be at the bottom of the deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 38. 38. So this is the top of the deck. This comes back in the middle. And this slides underneath. So yeah, we're going to have that Two of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Top of the deck is going to be the Page of Pentacles. We've seen 3 pages. Page of Swords was at the bottom of the deck to begin with, and now we have the Page of Cups and the Page of Pentacles on the table. Yeah, I think this is probably dragging you outside of your comfort zone. 3 of Cups at the bottom of the deck, which could be a reconciliation or a celebration. And then again, in that 5 of Cups, we had the 3 upright, right? So maybe there are some fair weather friends that you have. And maybe it's like they're your only friends. And so, like, even though you know that they're not really that great for you, you kind of sort of hang on to them anyway. Interesting to note, this 4 of Pentacles was at the bottom of the deck. The 2 of Swords was at the top, and I just flipped it over, but I thought it was the bottom. So, yeah, maybe you think you're at the bottom, but you're actually on top of something. But you don't want to be like alone. Maybe you're afraid to shine, afraid to stand out. I feel like there's a part of you that you're afraid to express. And then these will be the Jupiter retrograde, and we will see. I feel like that heat is like creeping up. Oof. What is this? This is a fever. Somebody's giving Gemini the vapors. But Gemini ain't speaking up. It's time to leave all that doubt, worry, and insecurity behind. All these cards are upright. And that Father of Cups just came out. It tried to go in reverse, but it jumped out of the deck. That's Scorpio energy. And then you have this Page of Cups up here. So yeah, maybe... And then this 4 of Pentacles found its way back to the bottom of the deck, even though I just cut this. Okay, we're going to just start here. First card out is Judgment, followed by the 9 of Pentacles and the Mother of Cups. So yeah, there's definitely like... I feel like you're reaching sort of the space where you don't really want to do anything alone anymore. And that's why you have all these pages here. You may also be reaching the space where you're the one that's... Oh, that's y'all card right there. I almost passed it right on by. And y'all came at the bottom of this deck too. So Jupiter and Saturn is putting y'all in a very, very similar space right now, which can be interesting. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, 4. Look at that. Exactly. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20, 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And this is the bottom of the deck. Yeah, this is the bottom. Because I was pulling from the bottom. And then this is the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I believe I'll pull 2 cards in here at once. Five, 6, 7, 8. Yep, I did. Okay. This is the top of the deck. This comes here in the middle. And that sits at the bottom. Bottom of the deck is that 3 of Cups. Again. top of the deck is the Seven of Cups. So you got the 10. You got 10 cups here, but you gotta make the right choice. And then left at the bottom is the King of Wands, Leo energy, where you had the King of Cups that flew out. So you have Leo energy on the bottom twice through Strength and the King of Wands, and then you have Cancerian energy with the King, or with the Three of Cups, and then Scorpio energy with the Five of Cups. Okay, let me timestamp this up. Let me take this picture, and I will begin. Taking the picture for the thumbnail. It's a little bit of extra effort I can put into things to make it a little nicer, or to make me feel like it's a little nicer. A little bit of extra effort never hurt anybody, so, you know. Sometimes you gotta just do a little bit more, and then you do a little bit more after that, and a little bit more after that. And then by the end of the day, you've made leaps and bounds from where you were previously. I'll say this starts at 2117. Alright, let's get into this. So Jupiter retrograde, in the subconscious space of it, is this desire for community, is a desire for acceptance, and because of that, this could be more of a past energy, potentially. But because it's like, maybe the quarantine has put you doubly in a space of wanting to connect with people. And so the bottom is like the subconscious influence. The top is more the conscious influence, or the way that we can kind of sort of see it, or the way that we act on it. And so it looks like you're sort of trying to go out and make friends. And it's funny, we have the Three of Cups here, and then the Three of Cups over here at the bottom of what Saturn is bringing us. And again, you came out in the exact same space for Saturn and Jupiter. And then with the Seven of Cups, you see the 3 on this side and the 3 on that side. But that one facing the sign that'll make you actually happy is sort of left out in the cold. And I believe the Five of Cups is over here. But the Five of Pentacles was over there. I believe. I think. Maybe not, actually. Excuse me. So it's like subconsciously you know that you need to expand your friend group. You need to expand your inner circle, your community, anything like that. And you're looking for actual genuine connection. And so it's like you're going out and you're looking for these friends, right? And I feel like there's almost, and I don't want to say it's desperation, but it's like you're feeling so lonely and isolated, or the call for expanding your inner circle or your friend group is so strong that it's like you're sort of going for these people who don't necessarily completely align with you. Because I've just noticed this branch right here. And it's like, if you come this way, there's like this alternate path right here. There's a choice here that you would have to make. You can continue sliding down the branch towards their direction, or you can go this way that looks like it may be a dead end, but maybe, you know, it continues on to this one cup that's left facing the sun. It looks like it's in reverse, but with everything facing the moon, those are the sort of illusionary options, right? Those are the, like, fair weather friends, or the people who you know aren't good for you, or the bad influences, but since you'd rather not be alone, you kind of sort of hang around with them anyway. It's very much that energy. And so, yeah, consciously, you're kind of sort of just almost like you're accepting anyone who comes your way. And there's also this feeling of, like, again, it's like you doing stuff that you don't really want to do to fit in. And you're being called to be more authentic and to stand in your own right and stand in your own power. Now, on the positive side, this could be you doing that. Right? Let's say that, you know, that was the old Gemini, and new Gemini is like, you know, because I guess maybe that's this fire that I feel burning within me. Maybe new Gemini is like, you know what, I had friends like that in the past, they weren't it. And now I'm about to pick myself up, dust myself off, do what I need to do to get back on my own 2 feet, and Then it's like, when you start to care about yourself and when you start to value yourself and when you begin to express yourself, or at the very least, you stop sort of like, you recognize when people aren't good for you and you stop sort of hanging around with them just because there's somebody to hang out with. Um, when you stop doing all that, then it's like, you attract genuine friendship. And that may be you coming into the space of like finding relationships or finding people that you never found before. But it doesn't happen until you sort of live in your own authenticity, until you respect yourself and you love and value and appreciate yourself, or you at least care about yourself enough to not put you in situations that ultimately aren't for you. And so now you're sitting at the space of the Son of Wands, which is very interesting because that's the Knight of Wands, and I thought I saw it somewhere else. But no, so we have the Knight of Wands, the King of Wands over here, and then we have the Page of Pentacles and the Page of Cups. So the Son of Wands, I always think of the Son of Wands as, not always, but the Son of Wands feels like your average college-aged dude who was all about parties and stuff like that. It's about doing what feels good in the moment with no real sort of consequence or thought about tomorrow. And so maybe this is you getting reaccustomed to that. Maybe that's you picking up old desires and old things that kind of sort of fell away. Or I feel like, Gemini, y'all's the twins, there's two sides to every story. Or this is the case again where it's like, you're hanging out with people who don't have your best interests at heart, or people who don't really completely align with what it is that you're about. But, someone is better than no one, so you're kind of sort of doing all the stuff that you don't want to do anyway. The Son of Wands can be kind of a sheep, low key. I feel like he's the one that, like, if you dare him to do something, he'll do it. Regardless of how crazy it is, because, it's like he wants to prove that he's down to have a good time and he wants everyone to like him. And he wants to not jeopardize his position in this group of people who don't even really. Like, there was this one kid in middle school. Well, I knew him in high school too, but I met him in middle school. And he was like wild. He was the kid that, like, if you dared him to do anything, he would do it, right? And there was this group of people. There was this one dude in particular who was like super popular. And I don't get it, but I only really, really, really saw it in middle school. And it was so odd to me because that had never been my experience outside of like watching a teenage drama or a movie or whatever. But there was this one kid who was really popular and everybody wanted to be his friend for some reason. Even the people that he picked on, they wanted to be his friend anyway. And then that was another one of my friends. And then he was talking about recently, because he had to come home for a second, and he was talking about how much he hated it here and how much he didn't want to come back because everybody picked on him. And I was like, yeah, everybody picked on you, but you constantly like tried to get in with the crowd of people who picked on you. So if those people never treated you right, why were you trying so hard to fit in? And why are you upset with them when you could have just like let them alone, walked away from them, and at least you could have at least have had more like peace, if nothing else. But anyway, there was this other kid that would do like anything you dared him to. And so they would like dare him to do stuff and he would do it, and they would laugh at him and he would laugh as if they were laughing with him, but you could tell that they were laughing at him. And it's very much this energy on both sides, right? Because maybe you don't quite yet get it, but it's like, you're doing stuff that could be reckless, could be dangerous, could be putting your own life sort of at risk, but it's like to fit in. And that would be on the more, not like negative or positive, but, on the flip side. And then coming over to Saturn, we have the Page of Pentacles and we have the Two of Wands. The Two of Wands speaks to a crossroads or a decision. The Two of Wands speaks to the energy of like, there's this kind of sort of a way that you want it to be, or there's a certain way you've seen yourself, or there's an idea that you had, and you were okay with doing it that way for a while, but now something's come in and has kind of thrown a wrench in your plans, but it's thrown a wrench by sort of showing you a different direction, a different way of being. And so it's like, you can still be yourself, and like, you can still be fun loving and have this community, but with this Page of Pentacles, you may be building a new sort of family, a family of friends, maybe an actual new family. Maybe your family isn't that great, or you have issues with your family. And if that's the case, then it can be like you're sort of this child that never really grew up. And so, even though this King of Wands is over here, and it's interesting because behind the King of Wands is the Father of Wands, and behind this Father of Wands is the Two of Swords. Behind the King of Wands, Father of Wands, is the Father of Swords, and behind that Father of Swords is this Two of Swords. And so it's like, I feel like with these energies, it's almost like, if this is about family or people in your environment, it's like you never got to grow up because you never found that sort of love and acceptance. And so you're still kind of stuck in this childlike space because you're still looking for the acceptance that you never got, even though physically you may be older now. And so here we have a moment of indecision where it's like, I feel like you're really, really, really starting to realize some things about your life. And you're starting to realize what won't work and what doesn't work. Even if you really, really, really wanted to, even if you wish that it were a different way, you're kind of sort of coming to the space of realizing that I don't want to say it'll never be that way, but you're at least realizing that it's not that way right now. And it's putting you in this space of indecision. And under this Two of Swords is actually the Two of Cups. So it's like, and Jupiter is a planet of expansion, right? And so it can be pushing us outside of our comfort zones. Jupiter is in Capricorn right now and falling retrograde. And so it's like, it's like, it almost feels like now would be the perfect time to sort of steal away. To like, to just go out and do something brand new. And then you have this Page of Pentacles here, which is all about it can be about building a brand new family. This is starting a new foundation from the ground up. It can also be like money and wealth and health and stuff like that. So, maybe you'll start caring about your health a little bit more. I was kind of sort of getting potential substance abuse vibes from the Seven of Cups and the Three of Cups, especially the Seven of Cups, and then amplified by the Three of Cups. And then that whole college dude vibe of like doing things to kind of sort of fit in, also numbing. So with this Page of Pentacles, it could be taking your health a little bit more seriously now, or realizing that some things are kind of sort of bad for your health and it's not sustainable, because if you're getting older, your body won't bounce back like it used to. And then yeah, we have this Temperance card. So if substance abuse is a thing, it's like Saturn's like, okay, it's time to stop doing that, because Saturn is in Aquarius, and Aquarius is all about the future, right? So I feel like regardless, there are things in your life that you're sort of at the space of indecision, but it's like things that won't stand, things that need to change. And then with this Temperance card, it can also be the message of like, you may not necessarily have to cut yourself out altogether, but it's definitely to limit how far you will allow other people to push you. And it's for you to sort of, and also at the same time, it's like, once you begin to value and respect and love yourself, you won't allow yourself to kind of sort of be pushed around or taken advantage of as much, right? It kind of sort of reduces the amount of BS that you'll tolerate. Temperance is also an energy of, it can be a very healing energy, and it's also an energy of alchemy, right? And so maybe you were misalchemizing in the past, right? Maybe you were turning to some things to try to make up for the lack of something else that you didn't get. I was just watching a video by Opal Oracle. I think it was the Aries video, I think. And she was talking about, like how, and because her monthly uploads are all about the inner child. So since I brought it up, I would, I guess, suggest going to check it out. I don't think she's done the Gemini. Wait, actually she did. Gemini was the first one she did, but I didn't watch it because, I'm not really I got Gemini in my chart, but it's my South Node. So I was like, I do love her though, so I may go back and watch it anyway, just to consume some more content from her. But she was talking about like, if you weren't shown a lot of affection or love as a child, if you weren't given that sweetness, then maybe one way that you give yourself sweetness is by eating a lot of sugar, right? And there's almost this sort of same energy with this temperance here. It's like you are making up for things that you didn't get or receive in ways that weren't necessarily good for you. But now it's like you can rebalance those scales. You can find a different way to get it. You can find a different energy to sort of like pull it from. And with this Page of Pentacles, like this brand new start is going to require dedication. Pentacles is the suit of earth. In astrological timing, that's years, right? Wands can be days, swords can be weeks, cups can be months, and pentacles can be years. I believe that's right. It's either, I'm pretty sure that's it. Or it could be that swords are days and wands are months, but I'm pretty sure wands are days, swords are weeks, water is months. It's earth. It takes a long time, okay? This ain't gonna be immediate. This is going to require dedication and constant temperance. And then coming over to Venus, which is all about your self-worth, we have the Hangman. And this speaks to a few things. I feel like, so the two fruits in this deck, the Hangman is holding the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil. And then he's also holding the Orphic egg, or the cosmic egg. So, in one is this knowledge, and the other is this ability to create. And so he's kind of sort of balancing both of these as he's sort of hanging from this tree, right? And there's something about the Hangman in this deck that doesn't feel super stuck. Like, it almost feels like he did this to himself. Because, like, look at what's tying him. Like, right? It's almost like I'm seeing it as, like, he was tied to this tree. It's like he was climbing up this tree and, like, there was an egg and an apple up here, right? And he tied himself to the tree just in case if he fell out of the tree, he wouldn't, like, plummet all the way down. He would be able to, like, swing and at least grab back onto the tree or something and pull himself up. I don't know. And it's like, right as he grabbed these, he kind of sort of fell. And so now he's like hanging in there, and he got both of these before they hit the ground. And so now he has to figure out how to pull himself up because both of his hands are kind of sort of, occupied. And so this can be something that you've acquired recently in the space of the subconscious over here, is this need to balance what you now know with with the situations that you continue to put yourself in. And now with this Page of Cups, I feel like this is all about you it's about you caring about yourself more. And it's about you beginning to care about yourself enough to, again, not put yourself in these situations that aren't for you, that aren't good for you. At the bottom of the deck over here is the Five of Cups. So, and there was that energy of like someone who wasn't appreciated or someone who kind of sort of got left behind. And it's like, I don't know, Gemini, maybe it's just time for you to, like, I don't want to say cut your losses and run, but like with that Father of Swords sitting under the Father of Wands, and with that Five of Cups here, it's like, I feel like you're starting to realize that no matter how badly you kind of sort of want whatever this is to work, wherever this is, it's like you're coming to the realization that something in your environment or in some place that you're seeking validation or company or warmth or acceptance is just not giving it to you. And I feel like there are heavy ties to whatever this is. But the Page of Cups is almost coming in to say, like, I understand how hard it is feeling like you will never get whatever you're looking for from these people or from the situation, but it's time for you to begin to care about yourself enough that you no longer put yourself in these situations. because whether you know it or not, like, you not standing in your worth is keeping you, not only is it keeping you in a space of attracting and manifesting these situations that aren't for you, but also it puts you in a space to accept it when you know it's not for you, and to continue to be in it when, like, you definitely know that you need to be gone. And then there's almost sort of this frustration with the self of, like, why do I keep doing this to myself? Why do I keep allowing this to happen? And I feel like it's not for you to blame yourself, and it's not for you to beat yourself up, and it certainly isn't for you to dive super deep into substances to kind of sort of make up for whatever you're feeling. Excuse me. But it is for you to begin to realize some things, and it's for you to begin to care, right? And then here we have this Fool card. I love it because the Eight of Cups is right up here. You may have been the person that parents, family, friends, teachers always told, like, for some reason, everyone made you feel that you weren't good enough. And so because you never had anyone really make you feel like you were, you continue to do that stuff, even though it was like chipping away at you. And even if you did have like one or two people, because the Three of Cups is here, right? And it was like, there's the friend group, but when the friends had other interests, it kind of sort of, or like if their attention got pulled away from you, then it kind of sort of puts you in the space, right? And so it's like you do have friends, but maybe you're not seeing them as giving you what it is that you really want or need or desire. And so even though you do have people of support in your community, you're not really sort of utilizing them in that way. But regardless, this is about you taking a stand, and it's about you deciding to love yourself anyway, right? Like, you don't need to be the smartest, you don't need to be the cutest, the hottest, the most fit, the most attractive, the wealthiest, the whateverest. You don't have to be the EST. You don't have to be the best to deserve love and to deserve acceptance and to deserve people who will actually care about you and who will build you up, and not people who will like continuously tear you down and use you as a punching bag to take out their frustrations because of the situation that the world has put them in, right? Like, you don't have to be all that to love yourself, and you don't have to be all that to get love. And it's not to say that you're not that, and it's not to say that you will never be that, but like, you don't need that to be deserving. And with this Page of Cups, I'm really feeling like this is you giving it to you for the first time, maybe in a long time, maybe ever. And once you begin to give it to you, you will begin to attract people who you can recognize when they give it to you as well, and people who you can accept it from. Because a lot of times, we kind of sort of, whenever we get compliments from a friend, like, we brush it off. We're like, oh, well, you're my friend, so you say nice things to me, right? You're supposed to say nice things, you're my friend. But there's this space of, like, everything on the inside of me has cooled down, so I feel like I'm on the right track. But things are like cooling down now, Oh, well, I talked about it, and now it's rising back up. So sorry. But we can maintain it, because with the Fool, it's all about the journey. It's all about starting. It's all about taking that first step, even when the first step feels like a leap sometimes, because you know that even if you trip, even if you stumble, even if you fall, you'll pick yourself up and you'll keep on going. And then we come over to the space of Pluto, which has this Ten of Swords at the bottom. Ten of Swords from Pluto is rough. Ten of Swords from Pluto is rough. It's rough. Sorry. Rough. But subconsciously, Pluto is like, okay, everything has to change. Everything needs to change. The people you hang out with, the things that you do, your environment, maybe your occupation. A lot of stuff needs transformation. A lot of stuff needs transformation. And it's almost the space of, like, if you're not going to walk away from this, we'll have it walk away from you. Because this is not serving anymore. And it's like, you can chase after these things if you want to, or you can take advantage of this opportunity and just walk away, right? It's like I've had people in my life sometimes that weren't that great. And so sometimes when they present me with an opportunity to walk away, I take it. Because it's like, I care at least enough to not be, or like, I'm not always direct enough to be like, hey, like, you're not a good influence in my life, and I'm not doing you any good, you're not doing me any good, and I'm over it, and I'm done. So it was fun, but goodbye. But if something happens and they give me the opportunity, I'm gone and I'm not looking back. And so maybe it's for you to kind of sort of do the same. Like, you do have the strength card here. So this may be something that's a little bit fresher for you. I feel like you may want to go back to whatever this is, but it's time for you to pack up and head on out. And again, like, there's almost this energy with Pluto, like, it's like Pluto is telling you that you need so much transformation, that you really need to put some things to bed. And it's almost like Pluto can be a very heavy-handed energy, in the sense of, there are some times where like Pluto can like do things for you, right? So let's say like there's a situation that you're in that's not good for you, and like you don't need to be there, and Pluto's like, okay, I'm going to remove you from the situation. Or if Pluto's like, okay, your time in this situation is up, if you don't leave, Pluto will do something to take you from them, or to take you from that situation, right? Or they will take it from you. Or it will take them from you. And so I feel like a lot of the strength that you're going to have now is to not go back to whatever it is that you're coming out of. And you're sitting at the space of this Queen of Wands, power and authority of fire. This is interesting because the Page of Wands was the only page I didn't see. I saw the Page of Swords, the Page of Cups, and the Page of Pentacles are on the table. Here's the Son of Wands, which is the Knight of Wands. You have the King of Wands, the Father of Wands, at the bottom of this deck over here. And then here's this Queen of Wands sort of sitting here. I feel like this is all about curbing your appetite. And maybe it's coming more into this temperance energy. So whenever you feel like you want to go back to whatever this is, do something else instead. Find something else that actually fulfills you. Or something else that kind of sort of like, I mean, you may have to find this. It's like, I feel like you have so much support at your back right now to really come out of this. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you're going to have the strength to strike out on your own, maybe, with this full card and with all these pages, with a sort of gusto from the Son of Wands. And you're going to have to sort of balance out your need or your desire to go back with your desire to move forward. And it's almost the energy of like, if you're on a diet, maybe don't eat the whole cake. Maybe get yourself like a little cupcake if you're really craving sugar. And don't beat yourself up for eating a cupcake, because eating a cupcake is better than eating a whole cake if you're on that diet, right? And so like, it's not to get into the habit of like, oh, I'm gonna eat a cupcake, I'm gonna eat another cupcake, gonna eat another cupcake, and then you eat like 100 cupcakes, or you eat so many cupcakes, and it's like, okay, well, you could have just had the whole cake if you're gonna keep cupcaking it like that. It's not to do that, but it's just to say that like, this may be a process, and as long as you continue to move forward with this Page of Pentacles, as long as you continue to move forward, and as long as you continue to pour that love into yourself, you'll get to where you're going. And I'm going to wrap this up here, Gemini. I'm wishing you all of the best. I am sending you so much love, Gemini, and I really hope you sort of find the place where you belong, and that place being, a place where you can authentically kind of sort of be yourself, and where you don't have to hide different sides and different parts of you, and where you no longer have to feel that you're not a priority or that you don't matter. because you do. And you don't have to be the greatest person in the world to matter. Like, all you have to do to matter is to, like, be alive. And if you're alive, Gemini, you matter. Regardless of what all of the people who would tell you that you don't say. Like, regardless of all of that. Whatever they use to put you down, belittle you, or to justify their actions against you, like, it's all invalid. Because through sheer virtue of you being alive, you matter. And you deserve love. So. And I'm also assuming, Gemini, that, you know, y'all ain't done nothing to end up in the big house and, like, get a life sentence. So, I mean, even if you did something like that, it's like you still deserve love and you still matter. But at the same time, like, you know, just because you matter, that's not an automatic, um, like, we still have to take accountability for our actions, right? But yeah, I'll catch y'all later, Gemini. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good time. I've been saying that I hope you have whatever time you wish to have, because some people don't want to have a good time, but I hope you have a good time, Gemini. I really do. I'll catch y'all later. Bye.